Not every Apple product is important. In fact, most of them aren't. But one computer, released in 1997 to celebrate Apple's porcelain anniversary, certainly is. It's the TAM, the 20th Anniversary Macintosh. And you may not have heard of it before now because it was an $8,000 grandiose self-congratulatory failure that really only served to highlight Apple's financial ruin. Steve Jobs returned to Apple a few months after the TAM released, with the company less than 90 days away from bankruptcy. And he cleaned house by discontinuing almost every product that Apple sold and firing many of those responsible for said products.
And I think that Apple has pockets of greatness, but in some ways has drifted away from doing the basics really well. So we started with the product line. We looked at the product roadmap going out for a few years, and we said a lot of this doesn't make sense. And it's way too much stuff, and there's not enough focus. And so we actually got rid of 70% of the stuff on the product roadmap.
The TAM, it got the axe, and its designer, Jony Ive, almost did too. But as we all know, Jobs ultimately kept him around, and the good aspects of the TAM would establish Apple as one of the best industrial design firms in history. And we've got one right here. See, it says 20th Anniversary Macintosh. Now, this is not new in box, but it's 25 years old and is still in its original packaging. It is very hard to find a TAM in this pristine of condition. And not only do we have the original packaging, but my landlord, the guy I bought this from, has all of the documentation ever associated with this. So not only do I have like the purchase receipt printed out on a dot matrix printer from Apple Computer, but I have also got forum posts and upgrades and receipts and just all sorts of useful information printed out, which is pretty dang cool. But without further ado, I think it's time to get into the box itself. Now, we are immediately greeted with a number 1. So I'm gonna pull it. Oh, it even says begin here. That's cute. We've got the service and support guide, which has our software license agreement, as well as a phone number for support. Wow, a 3-year limited hardware warranty, which covers both parts and labor, and 3 years of telephone support. I guess back in the day, they just built AppleCare into the cost of your $8,000 computer. We've got a user's manual. Oh my goodness, look how beefy this thing is. Now they just give you PDF. Well, they don't even give you PDFs. You have to go online. But this thing has got a wealth of information. This has got to be multi-language. No, this is all English. And not only does it go into the hardware configuration, but it also goes into software. Look at this. It tells you how to upgrade your memory. When was the last time an Apple manual told you how to do that? This is cool. Okay, we've got what appears to be some connectors for the TV functionality, which we'll talk about. A PCI riser of some sort. And what is this? Look at this. It's like a little leather pouch. Oh, it even smells like leather. No way. Look at that. That's a pen and a mechanical pencil, and they're both branded 20th Anniversary Macintosh with like embossed gold lettering. Oh, that is so cool. I love this already. This is neat. Oh, here's another thing, 20th Anniversary Macintosh. It's branded. It's a leather CD holder. And we've got, we've got some software. So includes system software and other programs, 20th Anniversary Macintosh. A welcome tour. Ooh, is that going to be a video? 20th Anniversary Macintosh Experience CD. I don't know what that entails, but that's weird. You can install this on Windows 95. I don't know why, but I guess we'll find out. We've got a power cable, which doesn't really look original, but that doesn't matter. We've got the back of the computer. Now, you're probably thinking, should that not be on the back of the computer? Well, the TAM came with 2 rear housings. Let me explain. This was Jony Ive's first design-focused product at Apple. And it was really the beginning of Apple becoming a worldwide renowned industrial design firm. But the company at the time was not willing to let him run hog wild. Watch this video clip.
One of the things that I think is really striking about the product are the colors that we've used, the materials and the finishes. So those range from fabric on the speaker through to leather on the palm rest. Even the subwoofer that normally lives on the floor actually has a large rubber component on the top. We really also wanted to design a product that would fit into environments, into personal environments, much better than traditional solutions have done.
So you can tell that Jony wants to make the back as beautiful as the front, but the penny pinchers and the MBAs and the tech people at Apple are saying, no, this is a PC, it's got to have expandability, and we can't have that at the cost of design. But I'm sure I've insisted, so they included 2 rear panels. One that is slim, that doesn't allow for any expansion, and one that's chunkier but allows you to add stuff to the back of your TAM if you don't care about design and you just want performance. Okay, time for number 2. This one appears to be the actual computer. It's by far the largest. Okay, let's open this puppy up. I actually haven't seen this before and it looks fantastic. Okay, so just got some, oh, that is really heavy duty foam. They do not make foam like they used to. This is really crazy stuff. Okay, let's just see if we can lift it out. Yeah, boy. Here's the foot. We'll lower this down. And here it is, the TAM. So it's got a tilting display, the whole computer tilts. We've got our LCD right here, our screen. We've got our disk drive right here. This was a 4X CD drive. We've got a lot of buttons, which I'm sure Jony Ive wanted to get rid of, but those are on the front of the device for controls. And then here around back, it is actually really an attractive computer. Even with this thicker backing on, it still looks nice. You can see we have a fan vent right here. We've got our I/O down here. There's actually 2 PCI expansion cards. It looks like he added Ethernet. And I think we can just push these tabs in. Yep, it's just hinged. And the back comes right off. This is plastic, but it's really nice quality. And if we're to believe the video in the making of, this is actually hand painted, which I actually kind of believe. I mean, crazy as it seems. That's fantastic. Okay. Wow, there is a lot to unpack here. And frankly, I'm not an expert, so let's go through what I can identify. This, as I mentioned, is for sure an Ethernet card. We've got a PCI riser right here. We've got a little CMOS battery right here, which I'm sure I'm going to need to replace. We've got an IDE hard drive. This looks like this is a laptop hard drive. It's very tiny. There's another cooling fan right here. That's for the whole system, I believe. And then this is very unusual. This is the L2 cache slot. So it's a level 2 cache, but Sonnet, which is a classic longtime Apple accessory maker, made processor upgrades. So this is actually a G3 processor that would sit inside of your level 2 cache and add a megabyte of extra cache on the back. And so this is a whole CPU right in this slot. Down below, we've got our system memory, and boy, you don't see memory much like that anymore. Oh, look, it came right out. Look at that stuff. That is a beefy RAM stick. And then here at the bottom, it looks like we've got maybe a capture card because there's an S-video in and then a microphone in port. And so yeah, that's probably for recording incoming footage. And then down here, we've got our television antenna. We've got, looks like a receiver coaxial plug if you had like a VCR. And then, yeah, the rest of standard ports you would expect. ADB, you've got your modem port, connection for printers, microphone, headphones, and then your little tiny baby power button. Wow, this is cool. Number 3, we've got our base unit is what it says. And this is probably going to be not only our BASE unit, but also our BASS, because this is a subwoofer. And if you noticed on the front of the TAM, there was a Bose logo, and that's because this product was co-developed, I guess, with Bose. It has a very nice, I guess we'll find out, sound system. But what's fascinating about this product is that Not only is this just a subwoofer for your computer, but it's also your computer's entire power supply. I don't know if you noticed, but there is a ginormous umbilical cord that comes off of the TAM and plugs here into the subwoofer. Not only does this supply power for the computer itself, but it also transmits audio signals as well. This is an extremely beefy cable, and rumor has it that it's a little over-spec. They were planning to put a more powerful processor in the TAM, but because of thermal constraints, they decided not to, stuck with the lower-end 603E, and, well, we were left with this ginormous umbilical cord. But maybe this also allowed upgrades like that Sonnet G3 card to exist. But yeah, what a fantastic looking subwoofer. We've got a classic rainbow Apple logo. We've got the Bose logo down below, and then this same beautiful kind of goldish gray plastic with a rubberized trim on top. Really interesting design. Screams 90s to me, but I like it. And now we get to the smallest box of all, the last box, box number 4. And this is our keyboard. We have a creepy picture of a hand on it. And when we open it up, oh wow, that looks like it's in really good condition. It's in its own little cardboard sleeve with plastic wrapped around it. And, oh no. Okay, so this machine is missing, I guess, 2 things. One is the infrared remote control. It's just a regular TV remote, and that's because this shipped with a TV tuner. You could switch from Mac mode to TV mode, and the remote would obviously let you navigate through the channels. It would also let you boot the whole computer on, which is pretty cool. I don't have that. The other thing I don't have, and this is probably more problematic, I'm gonna have to go find an old school mouse, an ADB mouse, is a trackpad. This thing never shipped with a mouse, it only shipped with a trackpad. And the trackpad was located right here in between these beautiful leather pieces to rest your wrists on, below the keyboard. And if you look here, there are these insanely designed cable channels that you would run your trackpad cable through to plug it into the same connector that was carried out to your computer, just a single cable. If you decided that you didn't like having the trackpad here, or you wanted to stow the keyboard away or use the trackpad off to the right, you could pull the trackpad off, you would unwire it, stick it over on the other part of your desk, but so that you didn't have an ugly hole here, they gave you this ridiculous leather insert. So you would place that in the middle so you didn't have a hole in your keyboard. Enough belaboring about keyboards and whatnot. Let's get this thing booted on. All right, time for the moment of truth. See if this thing powers on. In the pre-USB days, you could just turn it on with a button right here on your keyboard, and you'll hear the 20th Anniversary Macintosh custom boot sound. It was only ever found on this machine. Here we go. Scared me for a second. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, come on, baby. Where's my screen at? Yeah, nice. Machines boot faster than they used to. Well, save for maybe the iPhone. That seemingly still takes like 5 years. Okay, there we go. Welcome to macOS. I believe this is probably running 7.6.1, which was the software that it shipped with. That was a special version released specifically for the TAM in between 7.6 and I believe the release of macOS 8. So yeah, this is a fairly unique build designed for the TAM hardware. This was the highest resolution display, to my knowledge, that was available on macOS when this thing shipped. I think it was 800 by 640 pixels, so quite high resolution. You can see all of our extensions down here are loading up. I saw QuickTime VR. And, well, I guess we should just get started with the 20th Anniversary Macintosh Experience CD. Wow, look at this thing. What a beautiful wallpaper. Hold on, let's change it. Oh, desktop patterns. That's what they call them. Okay, opening desktop patterns. Oh, there's 74? Wow, that one is horrible. Ah, that one's pretty cool. Well, that's very 90s. I'm liking that one. Oh, cats. All right, so we're good with that. We can close our windows with Command W. All the hotkeys are still the same. Thank you, macOS. Okay, now let's use this disk. So I need to open the CD drawer by pushing the eject button. It opens up like that. We stick the disk in. This is a vertically mounted disk drive. And then we just close the door. There's a little tiny viewport right here, and you can see that the disk is indeed spinning. And when it loads up, we'll open this thing up. 20th Anniversary Macintosh. Here we go. The subwoofer is really loud, by the way, and it's because this is where the power supply is. So this is where the loudest fan is in the system, and it just is loud all the time. So you would probably want to keep this on the floor. Of course, in Apple's product marketing, it was never on the floor. Whoa. This actually sounds pretty good. Very 90s. It's about turning your back on conventional wisdom and finding new ways. It's about the joy of holding and handling and using things. Did you see that? That's the leather that they use on the pad, and they were like, it's leather. Oh, yeah, baby. It's about the most wonderful thing we've ever built. That's loud. It's the 20th Anniversary Macintosh. Wow, it tells you what each individual button does. It's kind of neat. And then QuickTime VR. Ah, this is probably like a 3D model, maybe? Let's see. Wow, it is sure taking its sweet time to load. Yeah, look at that. You can drag it around, only in, oh yeah, in all 3 dimensions, kind of. Suck it, ARKit, you have nothing on QuickTime VR. Wow. Let's see the making of the 20th Anniversary Macintosh.
So if you...
Jony Ive. Not Johnny, not Jonathan, Jony Ive. I didn't know he went by that, that's cool. Oh, no way, it's a timeline. Oh, look at that, that's cool. Apple 1, we've got the Apple 2, the Lisa. So it shows, looks like major computers, the Macintosh Plus, the 2C. What is this? No way. Click to view prototypes of the 20th Anniversary Macintosh. Oh, that's rad. Oh, wow. Curved panel concept designed October to December 1992. This machine is curved, by the way, like just very slightly. I don't think the display panel is curved. It's actually definitely not. This is flat, but the whole rest of the machine is kind of, curved and encompassing. I probably shouldn't have tipped that with the hard drive and the disk spinning, but what do you do? Slab concept. Whoa, look at that one. There's the disk right there and like this weird easel looking thing. This is like the iMac G4 kind of. This was in 1993. That's amazing. Got some lights, some like reading lights underneath that. Oh, that one's really curved. B&O Macintosh. Do you think, I wonder if Bang & Olufsen helped design stuff and then they're like, too expensive, we'll settle with Bose. Wow. Look at that, the disc is like front and center. So that's Spartacus Prototype 1. Spartacus was the internal name for the 20th Anniversary Mac. So this is when this computer kind of came into form, and that was 1993. Wow. So that's Prototype 1, 2. It looks like there's a Sparky, which is kind of more looking like what we have today. That was 1994. That's a CRT, it looks like, because there's like this big old back piece. Domesticated Mac. Wow. And there you go. That's the real deal. 20th Anniversary Macintosh, introduced January 7th, 1997. So let's eject this disk and try the next. Beautiful. This is state of the art, the lady said. Probably was back in the day.
At the left to
Pretty
find
cool.
out more about this special Macintosh.
Okay. So let's do trackpad. I guess maybe a lot of people had not used a trackpad before. They'd only used desktop computers, and that was traditionally something you'd find on a portable.
The trackpad on the 20th Anniversary Macintosh has its own elegance of form and function. It takes the place of the traditional Macintosh mouse. If you haven't used a trackpad before, here's a quick overview. If you'd like to practice using the trackpad after this overview, there's an on-screen tutorial that you can take. The user's manual gets you started.
Are they going to tell you how to move your finger?
When you move your finger on the trackpad, the pointer moves on the screen.
That's funny.
The faster you move your finger, the faster and farther the pointer moves. You can tap directly on the pad to select and open items, or you can use the button on the trackpad the same way you'd use a button on a mouse. The trackpad can be removed from the keyboard and placed to either side.
It's weird to think of a trackpad being foreign to someone, but it makes sense. By the way, this sound system is actually shockingly good. Let's do sound by Bose here. This is probably the demo. Wow, okay. Whoa, that's very loud. The subwoofer is like really good. I think this is probably better than the studio display. I'm not even kidding. I mean, it's just physics, right? These are larger speakers, but this is still a competent sound system today. And 25 years ago, this was probably like exceptionally good. So as I mentioned, the TV and radio function, there's a button right here that says TV/Mac. If I push this, it will open a television tuner. So right now, if we go into the source, it shows up as TV. So if I had a over-the-air antenna and we were still using analog here in the United States, this would display what it needs to display. I can push the channel up and down buttons and it changes the tuner channels accordingly. I can also do that in software if I so choose. So you could not only get a freeze frame, but you could record a movie. And if you go into the settings, presumably setup, preferences, it'll show us what movie compression we want. So none, normal, or most. I don't know what that ends up translating to in the modern world, but pretty amazing that this could capture video. This is very similar to another Mac I reviewed a while back. Actually, the successor to this, the G3 Molar Mac. I use the capture card on that machine pretty extensively in that video. So if you have not seen that before, you should definitely check it out. And now I'm enjoying beautiful classical music as I play this 3D game of pool. I can, of course, go around in my 3D environment. I can zoom in and out of the ball. Oh yes, I think we're about lined up. I'm going to take my shot. Ball on the mouse is struggling a little bit. There we go. What a fantastic break. Now I can go to my friend. I'm gonna pocket the black and end the game. You ready? Here we go. Winner! Wait. No. So as you can see, the TAM was important. Heck, you can see inklings of today's iMac in its design. And with both Jobs and Ive out of the picture, away from Apple, I think that we can retroactively appreciate the incredible products that happened under their tenure. But I also think that it becomes glaringly obvious that Jony needed Steve. That awful era of Apple, the 2013 Mac Pro, iPhone 6's Bendgate, the keyboard and thermal issues that plagued Apple's laptops for years, those were because design superseded function. I think Apple has finally returned to the proper balance, not ignoring design entirely, but no longer letting it control any and all engineering decisions. And for that, I am very grateful. This is the golden era of Apple. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay snazzy. Did that work?